Technically speaking, technically speaking, I ain't talking vegan when I said that I've been eating, making money on the side, but I use it for the main. I'm speaking in code when I tech talk that financial freedom. Have a seat cause you gon' wanna sit up at my table, yeah. Plugged in that it, girl, IT with the cables, yeah. Network engineering is for you, it ain't no labels, yeah. Shaky with my passion, took a leap, it got me stable, yeah. Now I make 100K or better, paper couldn't fit a stapler, and I spend it on my passion cause I'm capable. Technically speaking, now I'm really talking vegan when I said that I've been eating, I've been technically speaking. Technically speaking, China white.
Welcome to Technically Speaking, where we help you increase your income through tech. If this video helps you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more ways to boost your tech skills and income. Just a quick introduction to the ones that are new here. My name is Jessica. You can call me Jess, and I am the founder of Technically Speaking. I came from a customer service and a food service worker background, and I broke into tech in 2020 as my first job was a voice network engineer, and it gave me the financial stability I needed. Then I thought, wow, if people could learn tech, they would be able to better their financial situation as well. So here I am. My mission for this lesson is to simplify tech concepts and empower you to succeed. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's lesson on network services. In this session, we'll dive into some of the most fundamental services in networking. That's DHCP, DNS, and NTP. These services are essential to how networks operate and help manage IP addresses as well. They translate domain names and synchronize time across devices. So let's just jump in it and talk about these services. Before we get started, let's take a look at the learning objectives for today. We'll begin by explaining DHCP and how it simplifies the management of IP addresses. Then we'll explore DNS, which is responsible for translating domain names into IP addresses. Finally, we'll cover NTP, which ensures that all devices in the network are synchronized with the correct time. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a solid understanding of how these services work and how they're so important. Let's start with DHCP, which stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. This service automatically assigns IP addresses to devices on a network. Without DHCP, every device would need to be manually assigned an IP address, which would be inefficient, especially for larger networks. When a device joins a network, it requests an IP address from the DHCP server, which then assigns an available IP address from a pool. This process ensures that devices can quickly connect and communicate with the network. Now, let's break down some of the key components of DHCP. The scope is the range of IP addresses that the DHCP server can assign to devices. Exclusion ranges are specific IP addresses that won't be assigned automatically, usually reserved for important devices like servers. Reservation allows you to reserve specific IP addresses for particular devices, ensuring that they're always receiving the same IP address. There's also dynamic assignment, where IP addresses are automatically assigned from the scope, and static assignment, where specific addresses are manually assigned. This structure helps ensure that IP addresses are efficiently managed and assigned. One important concept in DHCP is the lease time. This is the amount of time a device is allowed to use an IP address before it must renew the lease or release the address. You can also configure scope options, which are additional settings set to clients, such as DNS server address or the default gateway. The available leases are the number of unassigned IP addresses left in the scope, ensuring you don't run out of addresses as new devices join the network. Sometimes devices on different subnets need to access a DHCP server that's located on another subnet. This is where DHCP relay comes in. A DHCP relay agent forwards DHCP requests from agents to a remote DHCP server. Additionally, IP helper or UDP forwarding ensures that broadcast traffic like DHCP can be sent across routers that would otherwise block this kind of traffic. These features help DHCP function across complex networks. Next, let's talk about DNS or the domain name system. DNS is what allows you to use human readable domain names like www.example.com instead of remembering complex IP addresses. When you type a domain name into your browser, DNS translates that domain into the corresponding IP address, directing your request to the correct server. This process is fundamental to how the internet works. DNS uses several different types of records to manage domains. Let's go over some most common. A records map domain names to IPv4 addresses, while AAA records map to IPv6 addresses. CNAME records provide aliases for domain names, making it easier to manage multiple domains. MX records point to the mail servers for a domain. SOA records contain administrative information about the domain, like who the administrator is, and when the records were last updated. PTR records, pointer records, are used for reverse DNS lookups, where you can look up the domain associated with an IP address. TXT records store textual data, such as FPF or DKIM settings for email verification. Service records, SRV records, are used to locate services within a domain, and NS records indicate which name server is authoritative for a domain. DNS operates in a global hierarchy with root DNS servers at the top. Below that are top-level TLD servers like those managing .com and .org. Authoritative means servers hold the DNS records for specific domains, and they respond to queries with the correct IP address. There's also a distinction between internal and external DNS. Internal DNS is used within an organization to manage local domain names, while external DNS manages public domain names that are accessible on the internet. DNS has few other important operations to know. Zone transfers are used to copy DNS records from one DNS server to another, usually for redundancy. The time to live TTL defines how long a DNS record is cached before it needs to be refreshed. DNS caching improves performance by storing DNS records locally, reducing the need for repeated lookups. Recursive lookups occur when a DNS server queries other servers on behalf of a client. Two types of lookups in DNS. Forward lookups take a domain name and return it an IP address. This is the most common type of DNS query. Reverse lookups take an IP address and return the associated domain name, which is useful for tracking network activity. Finally, let's discuss NTP, or Network Time Protocol. NTP is used to synchronize the clocks of devices across a network. Having synchronized time is important for tasks like logging, authentication, and ensuring smooth communication between systems. NTP uses stratum levels to define the distance from the reference clock, with stratum 0 being the most accurate, usually something like an atomic clock or GPS. NTP clients synchronize their clocks with NTP servers, which can either be on-premise or accessed over the internet. Let's wrap up some key takeaways. DHCP is essential for automating the assignment of IP addresses in a network, saving time and reducing errors. DNS is the backbone of the internet, translating domain names into IP addresses to ensure we can navigate the web easily. NTP synchronizes time across devices, which is critical for maintaining consistent logs and operations across the network. Understanding these services will give you a strong foundation in network management. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this lesson helped you understand the basics of DHCP, DNS, and NTP. These services are fundamental to how networks operate, so mastering them is a crucial step in your networking journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the additional resources in the description. Feel free to drop any questions in the comments below. I love to help. See you in the next lesson.